maybe part 2. I don't know. We'll see how we get on. More stuff. More stuff from months ago. Months of accumulation. I'll show you some Nintendo. I've got some NES stuff here. I think this is all the NES stuff. I'm just trying to have a look at the shelves. I kind of put it all to one side. I'm sure we all do this. You put it to one side. So you don't stick it in the fucking shelves, and well, especially in here, and it just disappears into the ether. So, from most of it's eBay. One from the show. One from one of the shows. These are American. So with the sort of the NES, whatever we call it, obviously less the PAL side of it. I'm not massively hunting down Famicom Japanese stuff. There'll be a few games that I wouldn't mind having, but I'm not like going nuts on that sort of side of things, if you like. But with the American side, because they had so many like more movie tie-ins and pop culture titles, and probably terrible, but it's like, yeah, and I think I mentioned this before, they're all the ones I wouldn't mind adding. So with that being said, I can't remember these come about. I want to say eBay. They might not have been eBay. They might have been like someone's online store or something. I can't remember. I do remember one or two of them I had to clean up. They had some stickers on them, and they come up all right. They come up really nice. So anyway, first up, Back to the Future. I think it's just the first one. I think, because obviously this never got a power release. Then I think 2 and 3 on the same cartridge. If there's any American people that even bother watching, they'll let me know. But I'm pretty sure that's the case. So I have got a couple. If you can see, we can't see. Got the Karate Kid, got Jaws, got Willow, blah 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 blah. Anyway, so there's like an Indiana Jones, of course. Repo. So yeah, it's just like a little weird subset-y thing, I suppose, for want of a better word, to get the sort of pop culture movie tie-ins. This one had to get it because it has got the mighty Legion of Doom, or aka the Road Warriors, on it, and it's WCW World Championship Wrestling. I mean, just for that label alone, RIP Hawk and Animal. I have no idea what it's probably a terrible game. I mean, Back to the Future is probably. I mean, can it be any worse than the Master System version? I don't know. Another one that I don't know much about, but it is by Data East, and this is Tag Team Wrestling. It's an arcade hit. I can't say I remember that in the arcades. I don't know, but we've got it, and we'll have to see. I forgot something. I ain't showed you something. Damn it! They just tie into these. Anyway, right. The other little subset type thing that the Americans got, I don't think we did. See, I'm second me. It's not good. I don't think we did. I've got 2 of them already. I think there's about 12. Again, if there's American people watching, let me know. I don't think there's any more. Maybe 15 at push. But anyway, I can't remember where I got it from. RBI Baseball on the 10-gun label. They call these obviously unofficial releases. I think there's at least 15 of these, if not more, maybe closer to 20. I have currently got Shinobu's and Gauntlet. So I had RBI Baseball to the mix there. And this one, I definitely got this off eBay. I know I did. And I paid up for it. And it's very much an impulse buy. I don't know if... I don't know. It's one of these, like, is it buyer's regret, buyer's remorse, or whatever? But because it was like, in my head, in my stupid head, I'm like, that's a really good price. You don't see it box complete because it's box complete. You don't see it box complete. You need to buy it, Stu. What the hell it was doing in the UK, I don't know. Because I don't think it got a UK release. I don't think any of the Tengen stuff did. This one was different because of the nature of the game. And when I looked online, all very quickly, it had all the pieces with it as well. So I was like, yeah, just have it. And it needed a bit of work. Again, it needed a bit of gluing and a bit of ironing and a bit of tidying. It's really, really nice. And it is the Tengen version of Tetris. So there is obviously the Nintendo version of Tetris, but I think this got pulled from market. This is definitely, I say definitely, I don't know. I think this is the US release, because I don't think there was any other release. And I think the Tengen stuff, I'm going out on a limb here, I think it's region free anyway, a bit like with the Codemasters, because obviously they bypass the region coding, I think. So, yeah, because it says it here, look. And it's got it down here as well, made in the USA. So that was my thinking. And I say, what the hell it was doing in the UK, I don't know. But it would make more sense if they were region free, because it could be that someone went on holiday, seen it, bought it back, and they played it back in the UK, because there's no region lock. But it's got everything in it. It's got the actual cardboard tray, because obviously the Tengen releases don't have the plastic Nintendo ones. They have like a cardboard version and stuff like that. Let's say the Codemasters kind of ones. Gordon Bennett, what did I think? It was about 100 quid or something. It was over 100. It wasn't 200. It was like 120 or something like that. And it's from a charity shop. It was like I think I won it on bids, actually. I think I won it on bids. The only problem, downside, it had a bit of crease in there. Like I said to everybody, whoever's ever, as I've said to people who've looked at some of the vids and ironing and stuff like that, you never, no matter what anyone tells you, you cannot iron out a crease. You can't get rid of the crease. You can stop it being squidged, where obviously it's creased from being squidged, so you can get it square, but you can't get rid of those because the cardboard and the print and everything else has been fractured. You're not going to get them out, no matter what anyone tells you. It ain't going to happen. You can just flatten it out. You can get it so that, like, it's square and it doesn't sort of like pancake out and stuff and splodge out. So yeah, it was, like I say, it was an impulse kind of, I think it was bids. Oh, fuck it. Let's just go for it. I can't remember. I'll have to have a look. Right, and then 2 more NES games. These were, again, when I sort of referred to in the previous video, I said I've only got 4 left. Obviously there were a couple, obviously these were already on the shelf, and there was one, you know, if I've got something that's got a box to it, I'll take it off of there, and then I'll wait until I can source a manual. And case in point here, I really cocked up with this one. So there was a point where there was a carton manual in the UK, and for some reason I thought I'd bought it. So I went to, I think it was Italy. Not got on a plane and went to Italy. Went to Italy eBay and bought this cart and box without the manual, thinking I'd bought the carton manual that was on UK eBay. And then when this turned up and I went to go to where I keep like the bits that I'm trying to piece together, I was like, I've only got the cartridge. Where's the manual gone? Where's my manual? And like, I couldn't. It's like just a stupid idiot. I couldn't even figure out like, what am I doing with my manual? And then it suddenly dawned on me, in my haste to get this, I never actually bought the one on UK eBay. I don't know why. I didn't buy it. I thought I'd bought it. Like, it's like a fucking reverse Mandela effect. So I had a box and a cartridge, clearly, and then I had an extra cartridge, no manual, and it's sat up there for, I don't know, God, bet it got to be like the best part of a year, maybe. I don't know. Waiting for a manual to appear, and then, you know, patience is a virtue and stuff like that, as they say. And one did finally appear on eBay with a manual, and I bought that. So I ended up with 2 cartridges, well 3 if you count the box one, but a box copy. And it's one of these black box ones, isn't it? I'll say still NES, that just seems to get trickier and harder to find. This is not perfect at all, at all. It's got some issues with it, but nothing terrible. Yeah, I didn't have to do any gluing, and because I said a lot of the black box games have like the built-in hang tab function, and the game is pro wrestling. I must admit, I do like some of these black boxes. You know, where they've got the sort of enlarged, digitized version of the screenshots. You see the metal version now, the two seals. The issues it's got, and it's a weird one, it's where the sort of top layers started just to peel off a little bit. But ordinarily, with the black box ones, this hang tab here rips, and it rips the top end off. Again, it's not a deal breaker for me because I can kind of glue that and it becomes really solid and secure, but it looks horrific. Really does. Again, bit of gluing, bit of ironing. So what's in the bloody manual for that was, I say, got to be needing enough a year waiting for one. But it did turn up eventually. But like, you know, because I'm still looking at NES stuff, I can still see stuff that comes through, whatever. And I have still never seen a box one of these. There's been a few other games that I'd struggled to get in the past that I've seen come up, and I thought, oh, that's a good price, you know. Firehawk, someone was selling that for like just over 50 quid. And that was a complete, really good price. But I'm impatient. It's one of my weaknesses, and I kind of rush things too much. I'm too impulsive, too impatient. But fucking, you know, the clock's ticking, isn't it? You know, how long do you leave it? Oh, 90 years old. I'll wait until I can find just a manual for sale. No, it's not worth it. Just fucking buy it. Just buy it, you know. Probably one of the better buys, man, I've had this year. This was from Leeds. This was back in Leeds. Scottish Japanese Alan. Store now. I was going to say hello to Al. I mean, anyone that's seen this stall in the past, it's a smorgasbord of stuff. Like, too much. I've told him that for years. There's too much, man. And Craig's here again, stall's bad, but Al's is just like another fucking level. So you kind of have to, well, I do anyway, I just sort of like, I'm looking for this system or looking for that system, and that's it, and forget everything else, because it just swamp you. So clearly NES. And he doesn't, historically, he never really dealt with PAL stuff. Obviously, since he opened his shop, he's kind of done that now anyway. So I always have a quick look at the PAL stuff and whatnot, because the import stuff is another whole rabbit hole, and I have to be careful with that. And lo and behold, he had this fucking game there. I was like, what? Because I said this to the lads when I bought it, when I went back, I was like, this is a fucking great buy. I had the manual for this anyway, but the box just does not appear. It doesn't even appear on the continent, like in Italy or anywhere else like that. So to find it in Alan's fucking box for the price he had it at, and bless him, he still knocked a couple of quid off for me. Because he did sort of say, is this for your, I can't do a Scottish accent, is this for your collection? I said, yeah, it is, honestly, it really is. Again, I had to do some fettling with this one, just in terms of the top end label, but again, probably because it's the early black box ones, they're just so hard to find at all, and then in like actually in one piece kind of thing. And it's the original, the arcade version of Mario Bros. He had it, I think I ended up paying that 100 quid or something like that, give or take. Absolute fucking bargain. Absolute bargain. So, Al doesn't watch these, I know he doesn't, but fucking mate, that's the buy of the year so far. It really is. But yeah, the top label was all ripped. You can kind of see the marks there. And it's just where people have pulled that up and it's gone and almost like a zipper. Happens so much on these black box games, unfortunately. Real detrimental to the health of the box, for want of a better word. But yeah, like I say, glued and ironed, straightened out, stuck in a box protector, lovely jubbly. And yeah, I moved on my carton manual to another chap who collects. That was at London, I think. And he sort of said, "Oh, I've got the manuals in there." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, you know, I wasn't charging stupid money. I think it's about CEX, give or take. I usually do that for anybody's watching. Probably maybe to my own detriment sometimes, perhaps, I don't know. But I'm not out to fucking squeeze every pound and every penny out of people. If it's on CEX and it's in stock in CEX, I'll price match it to CEX, so you're not paying any postage and you can see it, and it's usually probably better condition, etc. If it's not on CEX, go to eBay, give or take price match it on there as well. And that's how I kind of roll, really. A lot of the stuff, although people may not believe it, it is upgrades. I say, just moved on my upgraded carton manual to a box one. He was quite happy. That's kind of how we do it. Right, we'll do some Atari. Got to do some Atari because I've got some Atari off Daz. No, mate, Daz McCowan. Right, these are not off Daz, but they are. I've got loads of Atari. It's kind of dry. I wouldn't say it's dried up. It's slowed down a little bit after the hype of the 2600 plus, which is probably not a bad thing. Probably not a bad thing. So anyway, off of mate Daz, I bought some and we swapped some. I did a swap on some that he was after that I had. More than happy with that. So I can't recall which bits was from which, but I know these are all from Daz because they're all in box protectors. He sold me this one because he said it was a great game. The jury's still out on that, but I like this story because he sort of said, look, he spent hours playing it as a kid, and so to him it's a great game, and I like that. I did have this loose cart. Funny story is, not funny story at all, it's not funny at all to do whatsoever. No one will find it funny. But I had a box. I still got a box. It's terrible. I've got a box of loose carts. And I hadn't bothered going through it in probably about a year, or a year and a half. And it wasn't until I got these bits off Daz and I thought, oh, I'm sure I've got this. And then because it's all buried into shit. It's like a fucking junk shop in here now. As I said to Scott Sega's on, we were chatting. So I'll just call it the fucking junk shop. And then like half the box now of my loose carts is empty because I've actually upgraded them to completing box. They're fucking everywhere. Anyway, this is, case in point, this is one of the games, Play Soccer, after all that fucking palaver stew. So this is a recommendation from Daz McGowan. He says it's an absolute belter. Stick your FIFA and your ISS up your arse. That's what he told me. Space Shuttle, an Activision title. I can't speak to it. I know James, Retro Input Gamer, Activision is his seal of quality. I don't know, it looks like a fucking flight sim to me. And Space Shuttle, look, don't get me started. But Van Allen bout and all that lot. Anyway, excuse me. One that I would probably actually, you know what, I'd probably even struggle to do this. It says for ages 5 and up, I'd probably still struggle. Probably I should actually play this. Math Grand Prix. I'd probably still be terrible and probably be absolutely useless at this game. But again, one that Daz swore by was like tricky to find. Along with this one, Bridge, Activision. Bridge is an old person. Stu, you're looking at an old person, mate. I don't know anything about it. I don't know. It's a card game. I don't know what Bridge is. But again, Daz sold me it saying it's a tricky one to find. Daz also told me that we went to the moon as well. Joke. He didn't tell me we went to the moon. Space Cavern. Don't know anything about it. It looked cool. It looked cool artwork, man. That's all we need to know. Just cool artwork. And it's a cool name, Space Cavern. Along with this one. Secret Quest. Do you know what? I had this loose cart for the longest time. And it always intrigued me. Like, I wonder what it was like. And it's like an adventure game. I suppose like, as in adventure. You've got Nolan Bushnell here with a big fucking beard. Weirdy beardy guy. But yeah, a real pioneer though. Fair play to him. So, Secret Quest, I don't know, is it Adventure in Space? Answers down below. Or just don't bother. Don't bother. Ripping through these. One that come in the job lot. There's, to be honest, there's fucking a shelf full of games there that come in job lots. We might not even get to. We probably won't get to. But these were along with those ones. This one needs some work. Street Racer. I can't recall this one at all. I don't know if it's an actual driving game or if it's, because at the back it says Street Racer, Slalom, Dodgem, Jet Shooter, Number Crunch and Scoop Ball. So you never know what it actually looks like. I don't suppose it's anything like Enduro, you know. That might be pushing it a little bit, but it just say it uses the paddles, the driving paddles. So there may be some redemption there, rather than it being another game masked as a vehicular type game. What are you talking about? And one I thought I had I had 3 cartridges of this, 3 loose carts in my box, all different label variations of this. It's like insanity, because that's what I used to do. It's with the NES and the SNES and everything else. I'd have a box version and I'd have a loose cart. In case I wanted to play the loose cart, I didn't have to open the box. I ain't got the space for that. So yeah, Kangaroo. I said this is a silver box version. I've had the picture one, I had I think a white label, and I have this one. Other was at the red label, can't remember. But I was like, oh man, just get rid of them. Not get rid of them, but you know, move them on. Someone else going to enjoy them. But I've got the box version of Kangaroo. It was sealed. Again, we've talked about these before. You can, again, this is not a seal, but you can see the squishy of the cardboard. I still couldn't get it out because obviously the cartridge sits up here. That rest of it is this void space. So as the plastic starts to contract, it just like the weakest point. And what you find with a lot of Atari games, you all squish at that point there. So I've done my best. But yeah, old Kangaroo. I can't really speak too much of that. It's an arcade conversion, isn't it? So there we go. A couple more games here. I think I might call it then. I've still not shown any of the other Nintendo. I haven't got some PC Engine. I haven't got some PlayStation. Oh, and I've got a console. Oh, I've got loads of old paper. Loads of old paper. Let's show these two. Right. Now, I nearly bought this years ago from, funnily enough, Japanese Scottish Allen. But it wasn't this version. It was this version. It wasn't this complete. It was just the actual box, the CD box. And I think he wanted 90 quid for it. I was like, hold it. Because it was the first Milton Keynes and Rob was storing out and I didn't stall out. I just went to help him. And when I went over, his mate had sold it. I was like, oh, bollocks. And he's really apologetic about it and stuff like that. I was like, that's not a problem. And it was always in the back of my mind. I say, I don't really buy, this is a Japanese Sega Saturn game. I don't really buy Japanese Saturn games. Because I've got the OGE drive. No real point, no, in that respect. Nothing against them. It's just, you have to pick your battles. I've always said this. Pick your battles, pick what you're collecting for, and pick your battles, and you know, that way you don't spread yourself too thin. And it served me okay, but there are always exceptions, and I've done the exception with the Saturn before in that Cyberbot, so I got off Alan Chang, because there's certain ones, there's certain games, you know, certain series or whatever that you kind of like, you know, I wouldn't mind just having that. Not like, well, don't want them all. I'm not going to collect for a full Japanese Sega Saturn set or anything like that. I like people go like the full shooter, Sega Saturn shooter subset, and all that kind of stuff. Espagaluda and fucking whatever. It's like, no, I'm cool. Hyperdual and whatever. Espiglu, that's 360, isn't it? Not Saturn. What am I thinking of? There's two versions of the Saturn. I just went in my head and put my out again. Anyway, so no, in essence, no. But this one has always, because I like the subject matter of this. I can't recall playing it out. I think I did see it towards the end of the arcades before they really died out. And this one popped up on eBay. It's got a little bit, it's sun faded on one end, but not terribly, realistically speaking. But it is the complete version. And it's always, after the one that Alan had, which was just a CD box, I always thought, oh, maybe it was just fake kind of thing. But you always see this one, and it's not cheap. You know, about 200 quid, 250 quid, or whatever it is. And this one popped up in the UK, and it was around, I think, 175 or something like that. And I remember watching it, and the guy sent me an offer, and I counted like, you know, we all said, oh, I counted lowball. And I've caught people out of this before. They're full of shit. Because I've gone to the fucking people and said, did you sell it for this? No. So they're full of shit. I did offer him a lower offer, not sort of then make himself a good twat, but I did offer him a lower offer, and he accepted it. And I think I got this for about £105. I'm not fucking, if I can find my eBay thingy, I'll put it up. Because I couldn't believe it. And I was like, holy shit, he's accepted it. And it is the Dungeons and Dragons collection. Again, caveat here is the little gold strip at the top is the only thing that really lets this down. Outside of that, everything is in there, and it's in really nice condition. And I say, because it's in the UK, there was no import costs either. So I'm sure it was just over 100 quid. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, like I say, I'll dig out what I paid. Hopefully, I can still do it. But yeah, I mean, look, all it is, it's a cardboard sleeve with a RAM pack in it. So what Alan had was obviously just this. I say just this. But just a case. And I say, this is going back, man. The first Milton Keynes when it was in like a sports centre, and he wanted like 95 quid for it. And this is pristine. Really is really, really nice. So you get two games. Tower of Draga and Tower of Mysteria. No, Realms of Mysteria. I'm sure it's something like that. Tower of Draga and... What does it say? No, Tower of Doom and Shadows over Mysteria. Fucking Stu. Just making up names of games now. I was close though. I knew, you know, I knew it was, damn it. So someone's pissed off who's only had a pint and a half. But yeah, really happy to get that. And I've just realised actually there's a sticker there and I didn't even notice it. I'll get that off. It's one of them Japanese store stickers. So yeah, like I say, not really a massive Japanese Sega Saturn collector, but there's certain ones that if I see them at a good price, I kind of get pulled into it a little bit. And case in point there. Right, last one, and then we will call it. This again from a job lot of people, job lot of stuff from a person. It's a US exclusive, so I was like, you know what? And I got confused because I thought it was sometimes with the US games they get a rename over here and stuff, but it's not. This is an exclusive. So when I sort of bought the job lot off of him, I was assuming this was like another version of a UK game, and it wasn't. I was like, actually, I'm keeping that fucker. Ended up being a good buy, really. Sort of cute 'em up, shoot 'em up, Gadget Twins. So Genesis release, Game Tech. But yeah, really sort of nice condition for what it is. Box complete. So it's quite nice when that happens because I can't remember what I thought it was. even now I can't think for the life of me why I thought. I think it was the name, like, because we've got Mega Twins, which is obviously a completely different fucking game. It's a side-scrolling platformer, great, but in similar sort of cutesy sort of vein. So I don't know what I was thinking, because obviously it's clearly not even of the same genre of game. So yeah, Gadget Twins, bit more. That's a lot of Sega. That's more Sega in these last 2 vids than we've had in probably the last 4-5 fucking years on this channel. But I've got more stuff. There's more Atari. There's some old paper, PC Engine, some nice Sega. One with a nice Sega, but some absolutely belting Nintendo stuff. But look, I'm going to go because my my ability to function and concentrate is severely waned, and I've only had a pint and a half. But yeah, I'm not dead. I did tell you I'm not dead. I will be back. It's just time permitting. But hopefully this might sort of reinvigorate the mojo. And you know what I've meant to say is I really wanted to get involved in Retro Red Steve's racing challenges on the PS1, because I did Raid Racer, and obviously like, I've got a history with Raid Racer from when I was younger. Some of the other games that he's done not so much, but there's been a few that I really wanted to do and I missed out on, like San Francisco Rush and stuff like that. I think it's San Francisco Rush, because they were great little arcade races and whatnot. And then there's been Road Rash as well, and I'm like, I just haven't fucking got the time, man. I can't shoe all the time in, and what. But I'll try. I'll see if I can get ahead of the game and actually sort of play some games. I haven't played anything all year. And I know people might say, well, Sting, you haven't played anything for the last 10 years. Well, you can all go fuck off, because I have. But not in the last year. Anyway, look, listen, YouTube, take it easy, and I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye.